Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about the power of the mind. Now, there are these two emotions that are equal in their intensity, joy and sorrow. So some people attribute these two emotions to maybe the environment, to other people. You hear people say, he made me sad, she made me sad. I was happy because I related with them, because I related with him or her. So those are some of the sources that people attribute these two immense emotions to. So I have a different or a differing opinion over that because to me, everything comes from your mind. So I'll give you this short story, a true story about myself. Some months ago, like 6-7 months ago, I was very sick and I had persistent chest pains that would not go away. However many scans they took, however much antibiotics I took, and my brother being a medic, I gave him a call. And I was like, hey bro, I have seen this doctor who has said that I go for further tests because now the tests are not showing anything and he thinks that I have malignancy. Folks, we all know that malignancy means cancer. That stopped me on my tracks and I was sad. I was depressed. I felt like a shell. I looked at my two sons and my family and I was like, God, is this serious? Is it going down this route? And my brother told me one thing, seek a second opinion because do you have a swelling that is painless? You know all those prescriptions or what do we call them? All those signs of cancer. And he sent me to some physician and I booked an appointment and I attended. So this physician took one look at me, listened to my history, and he told me, please look here, you have no malignancy. Wow. I sat and I let that sink in. And after talking to me for so long, I was still adamant that I had malignancy and I wanted to be tested, blah, blah, blah. He looked at all the x-rays and that was his diagnosis, that there was no malignancy. It was a pleurisy. I don't know, some fluid in the lungs, and it was not even such an issue. It was just a viral infection that would go away on its own. So this physician gave me some painkillers and told me to go and rest and talk to my mind to stop thinking about weird things. So I went and I walked down those stairs from that office and I can't tell where the pain went. Basically, when I went up that office, I was sick, like seriously sick. I even didn't take those painkillers and my mind told me there's nothing like malignancy. Go home, be with your family, be happy. So from this story of mine, I think you guys can learn that it's all in the mind. Anything you put in your mind becomes either food for disaster or food for joy. So I want to challenge you today to think about what you feed your mind on. Now, anytime that we are walking down the street, it is possible to have these talks with ourselves. It's not even about the possibility. Actually, I think each and every one of us has these talks within ourselves. You go thinking about some very sad occurrence. You keep flashbacking and digging that weird archive. You look at it and you start remembering, oh, they did this, oh, this didn't happen, oh, I wish I sent this in a better way, I wish I responded better, I acted better. So all this becomes food for a lot of negativity, and it all starts in our mind. It's food that we cook in our minds, and it becomes something that eats up at our peace, and basically we end up as a very peaceless generation, a very peaceless world. That's why you will see when you are walking down the street, it becomes very possible to judge others even at work, even in our families, we have become such a negative generation because what we always feed our minds is basically what we let out to the world. It's called garbage in, garbage out. If you keep on thinking and digging that sand and negative archive of your life, it then means that you can't see ahead. You can't have a clear focus and analysis of things. So it's possible that you see people gossiping. We all hate gossiping. But let me tell you one thing. We end up becoming what we so much hate in others. Why? Because simply we've decided not to put anything positive in our minds. So today I want to challenge each and every one of us to always think something positive. Know when to tell your mind stop. Know when to chop that trail of thoughts. Know when to tell it to stop. Because if not, then you'll be like a garbage truck who carries a lot of negativity from within. And then there's no way you will share any positivity in this world. There's no way you will be a happy person. You will just be like a machine of sorrow and frustration and a lot of pain. So how do you do this? 3 A's. The first one is accept. What are you accepting? Accept that the past belongs there. Accept that you cannot have it all. You won't have the money. You won't have the perfect family. You won't have happiness. You won't have very perfect parents, relatives, colleagues, friends. You won't have it perfectly at the same time. At a go. Even the very fingers of your hands are not the same. They are not the same length. So it's just insensitive to expect that everything in your life will be perfect at the same time. So accept that sometimes things will not be as good. Accept that the past is gone. Like you can't change your family. You can't change your friends. You can just maybe change you. So, and I'm saying you change yourself from within so that maybe you can be a more positive person. Anytime you hear that trail of thoughts coming and bogging your mind about the negative occurrences in your life, chop it and tell your mind, let's stop this. Let's do something positive. Ask yourself 3 important questions. Is this important? Is it positive? Is it giving you joy? Then if it's not, accept that it's not giving you joy. Accept that everything cannot be perfect at the same time. Chop it and move. And start thinking about something positive. Look at the trees around, the flowers, the birds. Basically something positive in your life to give you some positive vibe. Now, the second A is adjust. Adjust to your circumstances. If they are positive or negative, and just learn to know what to take. And I love one religion for its view about prayer. They have this serenity prayer that talks about God, give me the power to accept what I cannot change, to even just adjust and agree to things that I cannot change, and then to even know the difference between the things that you can change and things that you cannot. So that one is a level of acceptance. That is if you are religious or not. So you have to accept the situations in your life. And believe you me, situations never last. They don't. As where I come from, we say that like poverty has no roots. Today you're poor, tomorrow you're very rich. Today you're sad, tomorrow you are not. Today a situation is terrible, tomorrow it's not. It's never permanent. If you see someone struggling out there, if you meet with a struggling colleague, a struggling friend, a struggling relative, don't judge them. Don't be what you hate in others. Just be that kind of a person who leaves judgment to God. Because today what you see as terrible, tomorrow might wake up being a good story that is worth writing down. We've met some people who have been very poor, very broke, in broken families, destructive children. But What happens a few years down the line? We find these people to be very happy. We find that their stories have changed. So anytime you see someone in that position, and if you yourself are in that very position of heart, everything not going the way you anticipated or planned or how you want, always know that it's just acceptance. Accept that things will not be like that forever. It won't bother your mind forever, and it will change because nothing is permanent. So the second A is adjust. So once you adjust and accept, the first is accept, then you adjust, and the last one is advance. Advance means move, keep moving, move right ahead. Now that you have accepted that this situation is not going to be like this forever, you accept that you're already in some mess, the finances are not flowing as you wanted them to, you don't have a job, you're looking for a job and it's not coming right away. Accept that with time it shall come. And then start moving forward, look for a job, start looking, start sending out papers. If it's family, start working on it. It's your children, your spouse, anything that is not making sense right now. Just accept, like the Serenity Prayer says, know the things that you can change and those that you cannot. And things that you cannot, leave them where they belong. Because, trust me, you can't save the whole world. You can only end up by giving you a lot of pain. You give yourself a lot of pain and lack of peace and sleepless nights. So it's not everything that you will be able to change. And for these things that you can't change, move straight ahead and ignore them. Because anytime they're into your system and they start denying you peace, you'll be someone who is very miserable, a machine of negativity. And you realize that anytime that there's a lot of negativity in your soul, you will never see anything positive even in other people. You will shout at your kids, you'll rant at colleagues, you'll be sad at strangers, you will judge how people are dressed, their everything, because it's not about even these people or whatever there is that you are seeing as negativity. It's about what is within you. As I said earlier, it's garbage in, garbage out. If you're happy inside, then you emit a lot of happiness to the world. You learn to appreciate and understand that not everyone will be at the same position in life. You look at people walking in the streets and you will understand their situations even before they explain, because your heart is so full of happiness. You are looking at positivity. You've accepted yourself and you know you're moving right ahead. So you won't even have time and that heart of judging others. And I think that is what we all strive in life to get. It's a pursuit for happiness that never ends. So I want to challenge you today to begin searching for happiness from within you, because happiness is in your mind. It's not in the environment. It's not with your friends. It's not with your children or family. It's just from within you. So, something else that I would probably talk about on this issue of mind control is you have the power. You have the ability. It doesn't matter what grades you got in school. Mind control is not about intelligence. It's about a choice, a deliberate choice that you make, that from today, I will only allow positivity in my mind. I will only think about good memories. I will only think about good stuff that is going on in your life. Because look at it keenly. Is your life so full of negativity? Is your life engulfed with failures? Do you have any success? Have you achieved anything in your life? Yes, it's obvious. But how often do we look at whatever we have achieved? You think you're broke. Have you looked at everything you own? Your clothes, your cars, your house? Even if you don't have those things, trust me, there's something that you have. There's something that you've worked so hard to have. Like the youth, you've worked so hard for your education and so many other things that you have. But we are trained, I don't know by who, to only look at the things that are going south. Look at the things that are going north and be happy for those. Because in this life, believe you me, you will never be ahead of everyone. There's always someone who is ahead of you. There's someone who is below you. And then there's you. Yes, you. So, if you look at it this way, you will learn to appreciate where you are. You will learn to look at the positivity, look at the things that are going so well for you. And that way, you will just be a source of peace. Now, in this journey of being positive, take time out for yourself. Sometimes, I know, and I've been there before my mind opened up. You do so much for others. You do so much for the community, for family, for children, for spouse, for basically for others. But then you neglect the most important person, and this person is you. Now, you forget that you need a break. You need time to refresh. You need time to just be with your own company. I suggest that even as you accept and just and advance, you take time out. Learn to take breaks. Learn to take a break after doing some work, after so much effort, and learn to take these breaks periodically. And I mean each day. Take time alone, not with a spouse, not with children, not with family, not with friends, not at work, or not with colleagues, but just take a break. Take yourself out. Be kind to yourself. Be happy. Look for happiness. It's in your mind. It's from within you. So take a break. Go out for coffee just by yourself. Don't do everything so much for others that you forget that you exist, that you end up becoming so fatigued. And sometimes when you're very fatigued, you end up sad, because some of the sources of sadness are maybe what you're thinking about, even what you're physically going on, or what is physically going on in your body. Like, you can't expect a very fatigued person to be happy. If you have worked even through the COVID period, you've been busy up and down trying to make ends meet. You've not rested for even a day, or if you rest, it's just you are resting and your phone is on. You're resting and you're chatting, you're handling business needs, you're handling deals and so many other things. That's basically not rest, because you're still working even as you think you're resting. So I advise that you sometimes break, like a real break. Take time off. Clean yourself up and go out somewhere. Go sit. Even in your house, sit alone. Take that cup of tea, probably a glass of wine, or whatever makes you feel good. So do this all by yourself. Allow your mind to process nothing but just the cup you're holding in your hands. Relax. Make it a daily habit. And then you will find that from there onwards, your life is very positive. So accept what's going on in your life and just accordingly to it. Advance right ahead. Cut off negativity from your mind. Don't judge others. Don't look at people and start it. Just be this machine of positivity. Be someone that can be looked up to give hope and positivity to others. But before you do that, start on your own. Start it with yourself, because you are all that matters. You cannot be happy for others when you are not happy for yourself. You cannot give 100% to the world when you're giving yourself 10. It can't work. So I think you've learned, and I think the tips have been useful, or they will be. So let us start out a journey of positivity. Let us give to the world happiness. Let us give out. Let us emit to the world, to our family, to our friends, positivity. But over and above everything, be happy with yourself. Take time out. Do not work yourself to death. Do not be a sad mess. The world is it's so full of reasons to be sad and basically disoriented. But Be the voice of reason to yourself. Tell your mind when to start and when to stop. And I wish you happiness, because it's happiness that you are looking for in the world. Anytime you go out to work, what are you looking for? Money, probably. Satisfaction, fulfillment, happiness. So that's the end line. We are all looking for happiness. And I wish you happiness. I wish that you start training your mind. You control your very important organ to give you joy and happiness, however much you have, however little you have. So thank you so much for listening in. Next time I'll be posting a video about emotional health, about mental health. Thank you so much for listening in, and subscribe. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, like, and you can also leave a comment on the video. And thank you so much. I hope to see you and hear from you later. Thank you.